object. So this will show up on the right, and we'll explain a little bit on this concept. For the budget, we have no budget for now. Maybe we get the budget from the
your dad.
the material. They have the biggest space for us to make it and use the target for the audience. So organize to the material, so I divided into three groups: recycle, natural, and reciprocal. And for the next organize exhibition, make the mixed bucket volume to the real material. They feel and they can touch it. And maybe doing the short movie for them, like here, the house here, right, and show the slide for the image that what it looks like, and maybe show the map for the material that it come from. Maybe put the
which country? You know it will be Thailand. Maybe which part of Thailand? Because all the materials will be Thai materials.
Yeah.
So asking the question which country?
With
Okay. Which area?
And so my plan of my concept, first concept, what I'm doing, what I'm gonna do is like first is looking at the history of Australia and background, and second is the group of material. The third is a bit of Thai material, and fourth is benefit for Thai material, and the things that make profit for the material. So make around small 2,000 pieces. 360
Degrees.
Yeah, half of degree. Let's go.
For which space is it? For the front lobby or for the?
For the this one is for the inside the material.
But you just showed us three groups that you divided the materials in: recycled, natural, biodegradable. Now you suddenly have 5 different stations
And
where you're talking about completely different ways of separating the content. I don't quite understand this, to be honest. For me, it doesn't make sense, because first you tell us the way you want people to look at the exhibition. You divided it in 3 different chapters.
yeah.
But now you're telling me you have, in a way, 5 islands, whatever they're going to look like, of information. On island 1, you're telling us the historical background. On island 2, the group of the materials, which I assume is biodegradable, natural, and whatever, recyclable. It's kind of not making sense, because the reason why you have to classify them in different chapters, whatever the chapters are, whether they're all green, they're all soft, or you know, whatever. You decided to call them after the different materials. These are the classifications that you then have to work with in order to make the floor plan or the pathway for the visitor to look at the stuff. Because here, for example, what are you showing on point number 1? What exactly are you showing there?
Is the background, that's the material.
So in each of these islands, you have 3 different ways where you say the natural materials are coming from. This is the map for the natural materials.
The second is telling that background is like how to make, how to
Yeah.
to the material.
Okay, so the first classification
Yeah.
that you showed basically only refers to group number 2.
Yeah. It was to number 2.
Mm.
Make this is the group of the material and will explain more that if they want to know this material more, use more information for making material.
Where are the objects that we're going to have? In which of the 5?
The second one.
Second one.
Yeah.
I think we should move on, but I think it's not very convincing. Because you kind of missed a little bit the point. But yeah, let's just move on and show us your other 2 concepts.
All the same.
So you kept this. I just don't understand why you first make this one division into 3 materials and then you come up with 5 completely different ones.
What does it mean possession to create an object?
What do you have to do with the material in order to modify it into an object?
Manufacturing?
Yeah.
Ah.
Because we just divided between, processing to make the material as featured in materials library and the process that you can use to put it into an object. Okay, concept 2, same thing, just another line. Where's the wall? How big is the space? Which space is it for? The second and the third concept?
The second and the third is outside the...
Okay. So why, can you go back to concept 2? Why do you use a linear pathway for an area like the lobby of UCDC where you...
I'm not sure yet. Lobby, it's one lobby or, lobby and then to the back they have the space because mostly they do the exhibition in there. So I'm not sure what they do the live more.
And the third one?
And the third one is divided into the second one is divided into the group of material.
See? Can you go back from the first one? So the first slide. I think in terms of concept, what we're missing also is like, this is a student exhibition.
That's what we were discussing so many times. The main thing is to show local materials in combination with local talent.
Yeah.
So that's why you want to feature the object, the result, probably more than other things, You should also be clear for yourself what are the main chapters that I want to show, what are the kind of sub-chapters, how does it make sense to divide them all. But once you divide them into certain groups, then you have to stick to this group and try and make sense of that. You understand what I mean? Because what you did, you then come up, okay, you have 3 groups, but you kind of leave it like that. And then you have suddenly 5 other things, in a way telling the story from different points of view. You know what I mean? You have 3 and 5. So you have to get a bit more clear, and also in terms of how you guide the person through it, also okay, you said people should be able to touch the material, things like that. But I think even at this point you can be already a bit more clear about what vision you have